Go ahead and join that breakout room. And then Mr. McCann, we have your Dominic Anderson. We can do your Raymond and adjourn it.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute.
I sent him paper.
Okay, Michelle, we had tech come in and get us live streaming, so we are
Okay.
live streaming now. So if you want to redirect, sorry about that. I was trying
Thank
to,
you.
it wouldn't let me live stream, and so I'm good to go now. Mr. Blank,
Yes,
I'm gonna go ahead and give you, is that on Adrian Brown?
yes, Adrian Brown.
If you called him to get you out of here, I'll just go ahead and give you a date. I'm looking at March the 2nd.
March the 2nd,
Correct.
that's a Wednesday and I'm wide open, Your Honor.
Okay, at noon.
We set the one from yesterday at noon, Judge.
That's okay.
Okay.
Adam Carter is at noon.
Yes.
This is also at noon.
Okay.
12 o'clock.
Or we can make it 12:15. Make it 12:15.
Okay. I do know that it's going to go, Your Honor.
Don't care.
Oh, there's
Okay.
Mr. Brown.
I think that's Sona's case, right?
That is, yes.
Oh, wait a second. Then that's not the right date. That's not the right date. The Wednesdays are restricted only to, I apologize, Miss Mosisian. I have a date with you. What is it?
Let me see. I think I'm with you on, we have a ton of cases together on February 15th. The
It's
Tuesday.
not a ton, it's 2.
Oh, I
Oh,
have,
no.
well, not a ton. I have 3, but yeah.
Wait a second, I have,
I don't know if that's too early.
Cripps. Hickman and Tipton, 3,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, 15.
Do you want to do that same date or do you want, is that?
I was gonna do it the same day, just at 12:30. Mr. Blank, are you available at 12:30 on February 15th?
Let me see, February 15th, 12:30. Yes.
Okay, then we'll do it then.
Am I one of 3 or 4 exams that day, Your
You're
Honor?
one of 4, but you're the last one.
Okay. We're saving the best for last, Your Honor.
Apparently. All right, you're all set, Mr. Blank and your client. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much. Stay safe, court and
You
staff.
too. You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too, bye-bye.
Michelle, is anything else ready?
Yes, Mr. McCann's case on Dominic Anderson, he's lodged.
People versus Dominic Anderson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Wade McCann appearing on behalf of Dominic Anderson.
Good morning, Mr. McCann. What are we doing?
For purpose of arraignment, Your Honor, we'd waive formal reading stand mute.
And then do you need an adjourned date for discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Michelle, what's the date?
Mr. McCann, are you available on February 2nd or February 9th?
Yeah, either of those days will work.
I can do February 2nd at 9:30 in front of Judge Martin.
Very good, thank you.
All right. Are you good with Mr. Anderson? You don't need a breakout room with him?
No, I think we're good now, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then you're all set. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Michelle, anything else ready?
Nothing else is ready right now. Unless,
thanks.
Miss Murphy, are you ready? Mr.
Yes.
Goodman?
We're ready.
Is that People versus Najee Goodman?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he's also lodged.
Correct.
Let me pull the file. Hang on. second. And what are we doing with this?
This is going to be a waiver, Your Honor.
Mr. Goodman, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I see it. Okay. And do you understand, as your attorneys explained, that by waiving that you're going to be bound over on these charges?
Yes.
And the defendant and his attorney having consented to, and do you understand that there'll be no testimony taken, that you're going to go downtown on these charges? Is that correct?
Yes.
The defendant and his attorney having consented by Zoom, I'll bind the defendant over. The arraignment on the information will take place 2 weeks from today. Or actually a week from today. I apologize, because he's in custody. On the 26th
Thank you, Your Honor.
at 9 a.m. and I'll continue the bond. Anything else for the record today?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Nothing.
All right, thank you. You're all set.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
See you soon, Mr. Goodman.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
Division 1, I'm trying to get a hold of Ms. Foster's attorney.
That's fine. We're on
I
standby.
apologize. I know you wanted to do that one first.
Oh, that's fine.
We adjourned Simmons and Wilcox, correct?
Yeah, I'll get with you, Jane, on those.
Okay, I just want, okay.
And
Crossing them
means
off.
that those two are adjourned, Michelle? Just Simmons and Wilcox?
And Kimball,
Okay, I'll get the
Oh,
dates
Kimball
from you.
too?
correct. The attorney, there was someone standing in and the attorney of record wants to speak with the judge. The person with the identifier AJ Brown. Is that Adrian Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Brown, your case was already heard. Mr. Blank was here. It's set for an exam February 15th at 12:30.
Okay.
And that's
thank you.
in person at the court, okay? And we'll send out notice.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a nice day.
Appreciate you as well.
The person with the identifier is Deontay K's iPhone. Can I have your name? Is it Deontay Kelly?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, I have you checked in. We're waiting for your attorney.
Okay. I think he is waiting to get in the Zoom. He just texted.
Nope, I don't see him yet, but I'll watch for him, okay?
Okay.
The person with the iPhone 12. Can I have your name?
Janelle Drake.
Janelle, say it again, the last name?
Drake.
What time was your case? Oh, I see you. I see you. And Mr. Drake, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
Drake.
Where'd you go? Let's see. Ms. Drake, do you want to speak with our in-house? I'm sorry. You keep breaking up. I'm going to put you in with Miss Belcher.
Okay.
Miss Belcher?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Go ahead and join that breakout room. Good morning, Mr. Sullivan. I think I saw you here somewhere. There you are.
Good morning. I'm here on Justin Lett, who I see is
I
not
see
yet
him
in
there.
the.
Nope, I see him here right now. And then, Mr. Sullivan, do you have access? Can you tell me who's assigned to one of your cases?
Absolutely.
Please, because I emailed and I didn't get a response. I need to know Nakia Jenkins.
She's mine.
Who said that?
Lauren Anderson.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Thank you. Yeah, we have like 5 that we don't know.
No problem. I have 2 today, so they might be mine.
Who's your other one?
I also at 10:30 have Corey Harris. And I also have Marquise Washington.
Yep, I have that one. Corey Harris. What time is Corey Harris at?
He's not till 10:30.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Yep, nope, that's one of them I needed. Great. Perfect. And then I do have, Nakia Jenkins is here. Do you need to speak with your
Yes,
client?
if possible, that would be great.
Okay, do you also need to speak with Jane?
No, we
Okay.
shouldn't. Yeah.
Okay, let me put you in a breakout room with your client. Go ahead and join that. Okay, and then Mr. Sullivan, do you need a breakout room with Mr. Lott? He's still
No,
trying
ma'am.
he's still trying to join.
Okay. I also have Joel Colding, who we had
Okay.
set over from last week because Mr. Colding was not present on Zoom. I've
Okay.
since learned that he is in custody. So
Oh, do we know where
I'm-
he's in custody?
yes, he is. I requested a visit. He's at the Charles Egler facility,
EGLER?
EGELER.
So, Mr. Sullivan, then do you want us to adjourn this so that we can do a writ to have him appear by Zoom?
Yes, please. And I have also requested a visit. So if we may, perhaps 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. I'm hoping that I'll be able to visit him next week.
Michelle, do you have a date 3 weeks out?
Yep. Would you like February 2nd or February 9th? Mr. Sullivan?
February 9th would be good.
Okay. It'll be in front of
Judge Oakley.
Judge Oakley, yeah. Would we do that 8:30 or no, because it's not the jail?
It's not, yeah, it's an in custody, but not the jail, so it doesn't have to be 8:30.
Okay, we can do 10:15.
That's good.
Although, what's the facility?
Excuse me, it's a Charles Egler facility in Jackson, Michigan.
Okay. $10:15, did you say, Michelle?
Correct.
And then Michelle will take care of the paperwork for that.
Thank you very much.
And then Miss Silver, I see you joined us. Gabby Silver,
Michelle,
yes.
do you want me to chat you contact information or email it to you at the end of the docket?
Can you email it to me?
Yeah, not a problem.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Are you ready on that case?
Yes, ma'am.
Remind me of the name.
Last name is Drake.
Thank you.
Yes.
Judge, we're ready on Janelle Drake.
People versus Janelle Drake.
Morning, Your Honor. Leanna Belcher on behalf of Ms. Drake. Ms. Drake, can you state your name for the record, please?
Janelle Drake.
Your Honor, for arraignment purposes, we waive formal reading and stand mute. This is an older case. I would ask that it be set for a final pretrial so we can see if the complainant can still be located, and it'll also give me time to get the discovery from Ms. Gillis.
Michelle, what's the date? I'm gonna enter a plea for arraignment purposes. I'll enter a plea of not guilty.
Miss Belcher, February 2nd or February 9th? or the 16th.
Could we do the 16th? I'm the House Counsel on the 16th.
Yeah,
Thank you.
February the 16th at what time?
at 9:15.
And that's with Judge Oakley?
It is.
Thank you.
Set for a final pretrial?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Miss Drake, you're all set. We'll send you notice.
Thank you.
Miss Silver. Miss Douglas, your attorney's here, but I can't get her to respond to me.
Okay.
Miss Silver. Division 1, we are making another attempt to talk to that attorney for Miss Foster.
Yes, ma'am, we're on standby.
Mr. Kearney, good morning. Which case are you here on?
I have two cases this morning. One is for Erica Belnick. There was no information for a phone number provided to us, so I have not spoken with her. And then Lamarcus Shields is the other one that I have.
Yeah, we didn't have you listed. We didn't know who was on it. And what's your other one?
Lamarcus Shields.
Yeah, those are the two that we didn't know. Okay, neither one of your clients are here yet.
I spoke with Mr. Shields is disabled and
Okay,
requires assistance to get on Zoom. I spoke with his sister, who's his caretaker, and they should be on at 10 because that's when I was scheduled.
okay. Miss Silver,
Yes,
good morning. I've been asking you to unmute multiple
I was
times.
on a conference call with
Okay.
the judge. I couldn't unmute.
Okay, that's okay. Miss Douglas has been here for probably close to an hour waiting. What are we doing on your case?
I don't see the prosecutor signed on at this moment. We're asking for another
Which,
PCP.
is it a special prosecutor?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we don't have that name.
His name is Jonathan Mysick.
Okay, we don't have that.
Okay, well, I'll text Mr. Mysick.
Okay,
Okay. I am also going to handle Kamisha Foster for Miss Kraus.
oh, Miss Silver, can we take care of Miss Foster right now?
Yes,
Are you taking the case over or are you covering for Miss Kraus?
I'm covering for Miss Kraus. She works for me in my office.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we've been trying to call on that one.
And we just talked to somebody from the court about it.
Yeah, they came in and told us.
Okay.
Do you need a breakout room with Miss Foster or are we just adjourning it?
Well, I'll try a breakout room with Miss Foster. Miss Foster doesn't communicate, so we can certainly make that effort, but we're going to be asking for an independent evaluation.
Okay, let me get the judge. Hold on a second.
But I'll take a breakout room for a minute if that's possible. We'll see if she'll talk.
Where is she? Is she in custody?
Yes.
Correct, Division
Okay.
1, Cam 1.
Why do I not? Oh, okay, I see it, yeah. Do you want to try a breakout room, Ms. Silver? It's up to you.
I'll try.
Okay,
I'll make the effort to see if she'll talk today. Thank you.
okay, all right, no, you're welcome. But Ms. Silver, did you say that you're looking for an independent?
Yes,
Okay, who's gonna pay for that?
the court is going to pay for that.
Not this
Miss-
court, you've got to get an order from downtown, then the last time
Yeah,
I
wait.
did this, I'm just saying, just bear with me, the last time I did this, circuit court told me that they didn't approve it and that they tried to send us a bill and it was a disaster, and so.
Okay, well,
I guess-
that's certainly not the defendant's issue, so we will communicate with the
But I'm
individual.
not gonna order it. You're correct. It's not the
I'm-
defendant's issue, it's mine. So I'm not gonna write it down and order it until there's some other avenue for payment. That I'm just telling you, because we've had this issue come up before and it is an issue. And then
I'll have it-
downtown refused to authorize an independent.
I'll have a discussion with the MIDC and we'll certainly let you know. So I
Okay.
guess we can just adjourn Ms. Foster's case because I'm not paying for an indigent client's
No, I
evaluation.
understand that. Well, she's had an evaluation though, so it's about paying for another one. So.
But because she's indigent, she's
I-
entitled to
I-
have a
I
court-appointed
understand that.
evaluation. done.
I
Okay.
understand that. Actually, Ms. Silver, I'm not gonna argue with you. The other person
Okay.
I'm just telling you that it's the circuit court's responsible for, and I don't have the jurisdiction to order the circuit court to pay for something. That's all I'm explaining to you. So,
Okay, so just so I understand and I can report adequately to the MIDC, you won't order the evaluation today because you don't know who's going to be responsible for paying for it?
what I want, if you want to submit an order to me to sign that says that circuit court is responsible, then I will sign that order. I don't know that it's enforceable. That's what I'm saying, is that
Okay, I'm
the
not-
independent, the
I-
request for the independent, we have twice had bills come to the district court for thousands and thousands of dollars. We don't have it budgeted. It's a problem. That's all I'm explaining to you.
Okay, I will contact the MIDC because it's not my problem, it's their problem. So I
Oh,
will
I
contact
agree with
the
you.
MIDC.
I agree with you.
Okay, I will
But
contact the
I'm
MIDC.
just trying to explain to you, is we've been asked before not to do it without prior approval.
I will
So don't
contact
give me
the
an
MIDC.
attitude, because I'm only doing what circuit's asked, please.
I was saying that I will contact the MIDC and have them work out the logistics. Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. Well, then I take it you want a short then. We're just gonna do it 1 week. Michelle, give me a time next week.
Well, it has to be at 8:30 because she's at the jail.
Okay. So it's 1 week at 8:30. Do you still want to try to do a breakout with her though, Ms. Silver?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Jonathan Mysek is now signed on also on my other matter.
Is that on Douglas?
Yes, that's on Douglas.
Let's do that real quick then. People versus Jada Douglas. Good morning, Mr. Mysek.
Good morning, Your Honor.
This is set for PCC today. Ms. Silver, what's the status of discovery?
Discovery was sent to me yesterday by Mr. Mysek. I haven't looked at it. It was sent to me late afternoon. It took about
Okay.
9 hours to download. So I'm
Okay.
asking the court for a 2-week adjournment so I can review discovery, have some conversations with Mr. Mysek about how we're going to proceed. So I'd like another PCC date, please.
Okay, 2 weeks to February the 2nd.
Ooh.
Do you want me to go 3 weeks to February 9th?
Give me 1 second. Let me look. Yeah, February 9th is probably better for me.
Okay, Michelle, what's the time on February 9th?
At 10:30.
Okay.
February the 9th at 10:30, and that's with Judge Oakley.
And that's for a PCC.
Correct. It
Okay,
is
thank
an
you.
adjourned PCC.
Thank you very much. Ms. Douglas, you're
Is
free
that
to
good?
go.
Is that date good for you, Mr. Mysek?
That is good for the people, Your Honor.
Okay,
And
and my understanding is I think that there are a
There's
number of
family.
family on here, and if can I just indicate, Mr. Mysek, that if anybody, a representative from the family has questions, that they can contact you directly. Do they have contact information for you?
yes, they do, Your Honor. And I'll make sure that I'll reach out to them after the event today.
Okay,
And-
perfect. All
And then
right,
also,
thanks.
and if I
Yes.
just real briefly on Ms. Silver, I updated the discovery file and sent you an updated link just this morning. The one thing that was outstanding was your client's cell phone dump. I was able to get that zipped and uploaded. So that, and there was some additional reports. And so I've added those to the discovery file as well. So the link that I sent you this morning supersedes the one I sent you yesterday.
Can I just ask, is the one you sent me this morning just the new items, or is it everything?
It's everything.
Can you do me a favor and just send me the new items? Because it took like 9 hours to download the first dump. I'll have to do it all over again.
No problem. I can do
Okay,
that.
thanks.
Of course.
Thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate it.
Of course.
And
Ms.
Miss
Your Honor.
Silver, just for cleanup purposes, on Miss Foster, I have a misdemeanor file and a civil infraction. I'm gonna close them both out, okay, so that she just has the felony to deal with. All
Okay,
right?
thank you.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. Yep.
Then Ms. Silver, you still want a breakout room with Ms. Foster?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll do that right now. Go ahead and join that breakout room. Okay, Mr. Sullivan, we see that Mr. Lett is here. Are you ready on that one?
Yes,
Okay, what are we doing on Mr. Lett's case?
we are requesting a in-person examination date.
Okay, I need the judge for that, so give me just 1 minute. Good morning, Mr. Batar, I see you here.
Good morning. We got a waiver on to Corey Turner.
Okay, waiver. I need judge for that one too.
Got that disco, huh, Dan?
Not from you, trying to confuse me. It came from someone else.
Came from my neighbor.
The person who joined with the G, with just the letter G, can I have your name?
Greg Moss.
Okay, hold on a second.
I'm just an observer.
Okay, great. Thanks for letting me know.
Mr. Sullivan on People versus Justin Lett. What are we
Yes.
doing on that?
Yes, Judge, requesting an in-person examination date.
March the 2nd at 12:15.
I do have an exam at 36th District at 11:15. Is it possible to do something later in the afternoon?
1 o'clock?
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem, 1 o'clock. Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're all set, Mr. Lett. You're all set.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. And then People versus DeCory Turner.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Corey Turner. Mr. Turner, can you state your name for the record, please?
Corey Turner.
Good morning. My understanding is that this is a waiver.
That's correct, Judge.
And Mr. Turner, do you understand that by waiving your exam, that you're giving up your rights to have testimony taken whereby the prosecution would have to prove probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause to believe that you were involved in the commission of that crime? And by
Yeah.
waiving that, you're giving up those rights?
Yes.
The defendant and his attorney having consented to the waiver by Zoom. I'll bind the defendant over. The arraignment on the information will take place 2 weeks from today on February the 2nd at 9 a.m. and I'll continue the bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Everyone have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Good morning, Mr. Jabolski.
Good morning,
Do you need to speak to the prosecutor?
please.
Okay, Jane, that's your case, I believe, on
Yes.
Deontay Kelly.
Yes.
No,
Thank
that
you.
one's mine, Michelle.
Oh, is it yours? Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
have you on it. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Good morning.
Are you ready for a breakout room then?
I am.
Okay. Go ahead and join. Miss Anderson, what are we doing on the Jenkins matter?
We need an adjourned PCC. I did receive
Okay.
the paper discovery. We just need digital.
Perfect. How many, you want 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Totally up to Miss Gillis, however long she thinks she needs.
Yeah, she's not here right now, so.
Yes, I am.
Oh, there you are.
I just want to get stickies. I got to put a sticky note on every case to see what's
That's
going
fine.
on.
That's fine. I'll get with you. I'll get
we-
with you when we're done too.
And Ms. Anderson,
Mhm.
if you don't hear from me on this, call me Friday afternoon or Monday.
Perfect, will do.
Jane, how long do you need?
2 weeks at the most.
Okay, so February 2nd or 9th? What's better for you, Miss Anderson?
We can do this second. I have another one with you that day.
Okay. It's going to be with Judge, yeah, it'll be Judge Martin.
Perfect, thank you.
How about at 9 a.m.?
Perfect, thank you.
Are we all set with Commissioner Foster? Next
We-
1 week?
We are.
Okay, thank you.
We'll do a new MIT for Miss Foster.
Okay, thank you.
Division 1, you're all set. Thank you so much. I apologize for the long wait.
That's fine. You and your staff have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too.
Miss Jenkins, you can also sign off, okay? I'll give you a call.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks. And also, Marquise Washington, I was going to see if I could waive his appearance. I know he went to work at 6 a.m. today. He's been at every other PCC. It was just to confirm we'd received discovery.
Okay, are we adjourning for another PCC?
I received the discovery, so we just need to set an exam date.
Okay, hold, I need the judge for that, so give me just 1 minute.
Thank you very much.
And then Nathan Moss, I have you checked in. We're just waiting for your attorney.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Moss. And then let's see, Darren Rayleigh.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Mr. Rayleigh. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
Yes, yes, ma'am, I would.
Okay, it's Miss Belcher. I'll put you in a breakout room with Miss Belcher.
Thank you. Do you want me to return to my same room?
Yeah. Thank you.
Good morning, Miss Anderson. On People versus Marquis Washington. My understanding is that Mr. Washington, that you spoke to him this morning, you're asking for an exam date,
Yes, ma'am.
March the 2nd at 12:15.
That's perfect, Judge. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. I'll see you guys in an hour.
Okay,
Have a good one.
you too.
In an hour.
I have another PCC. You're stuck with
But you had
me.
an exam. I'm like, what?
Oh, no. Just another one. See you back. on.
Miss Gillis, you know that we moved Cheryl Quick's Adam Carter. You got that from Michelle? Okay.
Right. I notified Huron, please. Huron
Okay.
Township, please.
Thank you. Are we ready on Deontay Kelly
No, his counsel is still in a breakout.
in a
room.
breakout room?
Oh,
Okay.
maybe not now. I see prosecutors here.
Were you waiting for me?
No, I just asked if we were ready on Deontay Kelly.
We are, Your Honor.
People versus Deontay Kelly.
Judge Sotomayor Seaton on behalf of the people, P 83923. It sounds like we are just going to adjourn it for another PCC.
Good morning.
Good
Good
go
morning,
ahead.
Your Honor. For the record, Tim Dabalski, appearing on behalf of the defendant. I spoke with the prosecutor. That is a true and accurate statement. We are asking for a continued PCC
How many
after,
weeks? How many weeks are we looking at?
after February 15th. I'm going to be out of the country from the 2nd of February to the 14th.
So either the
15th
after
or the
that.
15th or the 22nd is perfect, Your Honor.
The what? What did
I think it's the 23rd is the Wednesday, isn't it?
it is? It's
Oh, it
either the
is. I'm-
16th or the 23rd.
Yeah, I apologize. It is the 23rd.
So
The
which is your preference, the 16th or the 23rd?
The 23rd, Your Honor.
So we'll adjourn this to February the 23rd. At what time, Michelle?
It's wide open. Pretty much. Would you like 9:15, 9:30?
9:15 is perfect.
9:15, and that's in front of me.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Anything else ready, Michelle?
Not right this second. Mr. Kelly, you're all set. Mr. Kearney, we have Mr. Remsen has called us again.
What's going on, Mr. Remsen? Is he not been
Mr.
released?
Remsen said he called and he doesn't have any information on a court date that was scheduled for today. My understanding is there was paperwork sent to you on January 14th that they were requiring from the prison that he's in Tennessee, and they wanted you to fill it out and return it. They wouldn't accept for us to fill it out. They wanted his counsel to fill it out. I don't know, Mr. Remsen has called us multiple times.
I'm confused because he should be paroled.
He's still there. And I think this is kind of holding him up.
Well,
And they won't bring him in front of a camera until they get that paperwork. They're insistent on it.
the attorney visit form?
I'm not sure. Heather sent it to you. Heather said yes.
What does an attorney visit form have to do with the court?
I don't know, and I don't work for the prison in Tennessee.
They must think, Mr. Kearney, they must think that by Zoom is an attorney visit. And so fill it out, humor us and fill it out and send it so that we can set it. Which case is it, Michelle?
Remsen, REM.
The part that's annoying is that I thought they had said he was paroled. Or that was at least they had called and said that.
And if he's out, he's out. But you fill out the paperwork. Do I need 1 week, 2 weeks, Heather?
However many, whatever Mr. Kearney's agreeable to.
Mr. Kearney, what do you want? You want 1 week, 2 weeks?
It's gonna be 2 weeks because I'm in trial next week.
Okay, so we'll do it 2 weeks to February 2nd.
At 9:45.
And then if you fill that paperwork out and get it to them, hopefully, and that'll be with Judge Martin, hopefully that'll resolve it. And if he's out, just have him appear. You know what I'm saying? For some reason,
You said 9:45.
9:45.
We have another case that's set for today. I just went to Judge Martin's courtroom. She sent me here. It was for Ori Smith.
Yep, I have Mr. Smith. Do we have Mr. Smith on, Michelle?
We do not.
He,
So-
he was in the Allegheny County Jail. I set a writ with a Zoom number to ask them to have him appear. And,
Judge Tina Brooks Greens or Judge Martin's.
oh, you know what? He might have gone to Martin's, but I thought I put Green on it, but and Heather asked me for all the information on where he was also,
Heather, do you
so.
know anything about that defendant, Ori Smith?
Does it say I sent anything?
No, it wouldn't have been Heather. It would have been Mary Ann Salinas, writ signed by BAO.
Yeah, no, but I know I talked to Heather about where he was, but is there a way to check Judge Martin's? I don't know why. it
Well,
would be-
I have the writ in front of me and it had my Zoom number.
Okay. You have my writ? Is that
It's a writ signed by Judge Oakley.
right? Yeah, that's the one I sent.
It's hers. Yep, it's yours.
I don't know what to say, you know, I can't make them have him appear. He's pending trial in a county jail out there. But we have not had a demand letter, I don't think, at all, not that I'm aware of.
I mean, I can send the prosecutor a demand letter, but
Well, that's sort of academic when we're trying to we're making efforts to, you know what I'm saying? It's not.
there was a Court of Appeals case that came out this morning that said exactly that.
That said what?
That said precisely that the 180-day speedy trial rule is essentially academic as long as somebody is trying to get him here.
See, well, there you go, Mr. Gurney. I didn't realize it came out this morning, but I'll take it that I read that case this morning. No, I'm joking. I didn't. But I just had this argument, but at least I appreciate you giving me that effort
Versus
too.
Lown.
So what do we want to do? Do we want to wait and see if the jail's going to be late, if they're going to be late? Do you know what I mean? The writ said 8:50. Mr. Kearney, your preference, or we can try another
I'm gonna have
writ.
to be here at 10 o'clock anyway for my other cases, so
Why don't we just, okay, you've got to come back, then I'll hold it to the side and hopefully they
Oh,
hopefully they sign in. And I don't have any contact information. I have the bottom of an email. Do you have the top of the email, Ms. Gillis? Is there anywhere you can call a phone number on anything that we can have somebody call?
I just left a message. I got the operator and they said they're busy and I left a message with Allegheny. So I don't know. I mean, he has a trial on 3/16. And if we were to adjourn it, I'd ask that we adjourn past his trial date. He has a bench trial on a weapons offense. Maybe he'll win.
Okay. Well, why don't we just hold off doing anything for the moment? Okay?
Mr. Elman, good morning. I see you're here on Mr. Moss's case.
Good morning, yes.
Do you need to speak with the prosecutor?
No, I do not. I think we're ready to go.
Okay.
Unless anything's changed from yesterday.
Mr. Moss's case, and then Ms. Belcher, are you also ready on Darren Rayleigh? Okay.
Yes.
Michelle, I just sent you a message a little bit ago. A chat.
Good morning, Mr. Elman. People versus Nathan Moss.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning,
What's
Judge.
up? Good morning. What are we doing with this case?
Your Honor, today's date and time set for a PCC. There is quite a bit of discovery video that I recently received that I still would like some additional time to review and review with my client as well. So I'd be asking for an adjournment.
How much time do you need?
Whatever your honor feels is appropriate.
It doesn't, I don't know what the discovery is, so I'm good with, you need 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
2 weeks is fine, your honor.
2 weeks to February the 2nd. Michelle, what time?
Sorry, 10 a.m.
February the 2nd at 10 a.m. and that's with Judge Martin.
Thank you, your honor.
You're welcome. And Mr. Moss, did you hear where you at? There you go. Mr. Moss, did you hear that? You're gonna be
Yes,
2
Your
weeks
Honor.
out with Judge Martin, okay? Same thing by Zoom, okay?
February 2nd at 10 o'clock.
Correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You know that's a DV, right?
Yeah,
She
she
spoke to
oh,
us.
yes, Jane. Yes, I know. Ms.
Okay.
Sissy is very capable of speaking for herself. All right, you're all set. Thank you, Mr. Elman, Mr. Moss.
Thank you, your honor.
Thank
Good to
you.
see you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And Leanna, what case are you on?
Rayleigh, first name Darren.
Those are all my cases. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks, you too.
People versus Darren Rayleigh.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
And Leanna Belcher on behalf of Mr. Rayleigh. Mr. Rayleigh, can you state your name for the record?
Yes, this is Darren Rayleigh.
Your Honor, I'm asking for an adjournment. I don't know if the court can put it on the February 16th date. I've requested the discovery from Ms. Gillis. I just have not received it yet.
Adjourn it to February the 16th, did you say?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
February the 16th at what time?
9:15.
And that's with Judge Oakley.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Rayleigh, you're all set. I would mention, Mr. Rayleigh, you know that January the 25th, you
Yes.
have a
Yes, ma'am.
preliminary exam and a trial. You're
I spoke
familiar
to my
with
lawyer
that?
yesterday. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Just making
Sure.
sure that you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
February 16th, 9:15, correct?
Correct.
What about a Zoom meeting ID number? Do I need any of that yet?
They're gonna send it to you, but it's Judge
Okay.
Martin but they'll mail you a notice.
Judge Martin anyways?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Anything else right now, Michelle?
Nothing else.
That's
Jane
it?
has an issue that hold on. Jane,
Yes,
Judge's gonna go in a breakout room with you.
okay.
Go ahead and join.
It's
I
not.
put
letting me-
you, oh,
I know,
I
it's
put you
not
in there.
letting- I
Go
know, but
ahead.
it's not-
Yeah, Michelle, well, it's quiet in here. I'm here on Tucker, but I'm also standing in for other people for Kimball, Foster, and then I already heard about the Ori Smith one, so I'm standing in for those.
Okay, let's see. On Kimball, we adjourned that one to February 23rd at 9:15 in front of Judge Green.
Okay?
Did you say Foster?
Yes.
During next week, January 26th at 8:30, they're asking for an independent on her.
Gotcha.
And then, what's the other one? Say it again.
Tucker?
Tucker, we haven't done Tucker yet.
Gotcha.
Tucker's mine, Michelle.
Yeah, I see you are listed.
And then next week is with Judge Oakley, correct?
No, next week is with Judge Martin. Judge Martin is the 26th and February 2nd. And then Judge
Gotcha.
Oakley is February 9th and 16th.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. The person who joined with the iPhone, can I have your name? No, they don't have any audio. Good morning, Miss Phelps.
Good morning.
Which one you hear? You're here on Stone.
Yes.
Let's see. Is there are you on another one or not?
Nope, just that one.
Okay.
Hey, Michelle,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just going to be asking for another date on Tucker. He's been pending trial for some time and I have to get an investigator involved to find him. We want a
Oh.
bench trial with Judge Green. It's just, I know his case was last up and I think it was end of 2020 or beginning of 21. So it's been quite some time he was waiting for trial. So
Okay.
could you put me on February 23rd at 11 with my other case with Judge Green? I have a motion
Yeah.
hearing that day.
So adjourn to February 23rd at 11 a.m.
Yeah, I have a motion hearing
Yeah.
a Walker hearing request on that Kyle Smith case.
Sure. Did you hear that, Detective?
I'll send him a text.
Okay. I think he heard it.
I did, but I didn't miss the end, so yeah, just go ahead, Leanna. Thanks.
February 23rd on Tucker at 11.
Thank you.
And then Mr. Lawson, have you checked in? We're waiting for your attorney.
Yes, I am here, Your Honor.
It's okay. I'm the clerk. I'm Michelle.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay. We're waiting for Mr. Mays. He'll be here, I'm sure.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Just go ahead and mute yourself and we'll wait.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And then the person who joined us, Alyssa Finley. Oh, you don't have any audio. Let me see if I can get her to start.
Michelle, can I go in with Miss Gillis for a
You
moment?
can. You can. Let me put you in with Miss Gillis. Miss Gillis, you can rejoin where you were.
Okay.
Ms. Belcher,
Yes, Judge.
Lucas Tucker is set for a final pretrial today.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just requesting a short adjournment. His case was pending trial for some time. I'm having difficulty locating him just because it's been about a year since I last talked to him.
Well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hold it for 48 hours and bench warrant him. If you get in contact with him, then Michelle will reset it. I'm not gonna adjourn it. If you contact him, Michelle will take your comment and then reset it, okay?
Okay, I just can't, that I won't be able to get an investigator approved that quickly.
What quickly?
Within 48 hours,
Then
it takes,
we'll remove the bench warrant the second that you contact him and we'll reset it,
fair enough.
okay?
Good morning. The person who just joined us, Alyssa Finley. Alyssa Finley. Good morning. Can you tell me which case you're here for? Jane, do you have a victim by that name at all? Alyssa Finley?
You keep tracking the names. I think my victim advocate's on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. No, that's Ashley.
The person who joined with the the Revel V.
I don't see a
This is-
victim.
This is Mr. Shields.
I think it is too.
It is Mr. Shields.
It is for sure. Okay.
Okay.
What are we doing in Mr. Shields' case?
I would ask to set it for a preliminary examination.
Do we have all the discovery?
So what I have so far is I have, let me just pull it up because I went through it yesterday. I have the paper discovery, but it does pertain to a uttering and publishing that happened at a bank. So whether they say they processed and logged some video and a body worn camera footage.
Okay, so we need to adjourn the PCC until you get everything.
Okay.
Jane, do you know how much time you need?
It's available. It always takes longer. 4 weeks. Give me 4 weeks.
How about, why don't we go to, let's go February 16th.
Okay.
How about February 16th at either 8:45 or 9:15? Which one do you want, Mr. Kearney?
You said 8:45 or 9:15?
Correct.
I prefer 8:45.
Okay, and that's in front of Judge Oakley.
Is he on,
He is.
Correct.
Mr. Shields? For purposes of arraignment, to waive the formal reading?
I would, Judge, and I would enter a plea of not guilty to the charges in the arraignment.
And then set this matter, what was the date, Michelle? February the 16th in front of Judge Oakley at what time?
At 8:45.
At 8:45.
Okay, we here.
Judge, I'm currently missing bank video and
That's fine.
body worn camera video. That relates to a statement, Mr.
That's fine. All right, Mr. Shields, that's gonna be the date, okay?
What is it again?
It's February the 16th. And that's gonna be with Judge Oakley at 8:45.
Can you spell Oakley for me?
Oakley.
Oakle. Okay, Judge Oakley. Okay, I got it.
On the 16th.
Okay, you're all set for today then. And
What time again?
8:45.
Yes, ma'am.
For next.
So I do the same thing with this thing I just did for.
Correct,
February
but you'll do it with Judge Oakley. Correct.
Okay, ma'am.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
And if there's nothing else going on, could I have a breakout room with Ms. Gillis regarding this case?
What we do now, Mr. Kearney?
You can just log right off and just text me if you have any questions, okay?
Yes, I sure will. Thank you.
No problem. You have a good day.
We gotta learn how to do this. Like blog off, like.
Just press leave.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yep, just go ahead and leave meeting.
They send you to a breakout room, Blaze?
Not yet.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Did you talk to me, Jane? Jane, did you say you needed a breakout room with somebody?
He did. Blaze
Oh.
said he needed one with me.
With you?
Yes.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll do that now. Go ahead. You can rejoin where you're at, Jane.
Hey, Michelle, Demetrius Stone says he's in the waiting room, but I don't know how he's labeled and I'm having difficulty getting him to label himself.
I'm sorry, Ms. Phelps, say that again.
Demetrius Stone says that he is in the waiting room.
He's
I
in
don't
the
know.
wrong waiting room then. He's in the wrong judge then.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at the waiting room and
there's no one in there.
There's nobody waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have someone check maybe Judge Oakley's.
any word from Miss Bell Link?
I'm having Heather check Judge Oakley's waiting room.
Do we have a phone number for her? Because we didn't get one on our appointment sheet.
I'm sorry, say it again for which defendant?
For Miss Bell Link.
I don't know. Let me see. I don't have the file in front of me. Let me go and see if I can pull her name up. No, we don't have any contact information for her. Miss Phelps, did you talk to your client or
Yes, he should be coming over. He
was he in Judge Oakley's?
He was.
Okay, yeah. Heather's checking, trying to kick people out.
Can I talk to the victim advocate in a breakout room, Kathy B? If
Sure.
just briefly about a case.
Go ahead.
Kathy, did you hear that?
Hey, Michelle, do you see Demetrius Stone yet?
I do not, and I had both other courtrooms check and he wasn't in either one of those either.
All right, I'll call him again.
Okay. I'm going to step away for 2 minutes if anyone needs anything.
No, I saw the message. I got busy, forgot about it. Yeah, they're coming to put it forward by bathroom on Thursday, Friday. So I'm gonna take out the sink and toilet. I want to do one. So I want to have you, whatever day you come and look everything back up. I don't want to. It's a what do you call it, a cabinet with vanity. The pipes go behind it and then sink it on top and then a toilet, the one like there, put it there, it's not. So I'll have all the stuff, I just want somebody that knows what they're doing, that's why I'm calling you. Look it up, they'll see. They're gonna be done probably, I would say Saturday, so whatever day next week.
Miss Phelps, did we find Mr. Stone?
He
It's
said
just-
he's in a waiting room. I asked him to just sign out and sign back in. He's gonna try clicking through the website instead of punching in a number. I
Yeah,
don't
maybe he's at the wrong court. I don't know.
I don't know.
We've checked all of them.
Yeah,
It's just one of those days.
awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, so what time do you think Tuesday? Late in the afternoon? After 1 would be great. I was just suggesting. That sounds great. You need my address? Yeah, that's it. Okay, but I appreciate it. Take care. All right, thanks. You're well.
Mr. Kearney, what's the defendant? On Remsen, you gave him the wrong Zoom room. You got to do it again. It's Judge Martin, not me.
I feel like at this point, I'm being asked to do the administrative work of the court.
Well, you don't have to do it then. You're exactly right. The jail is asking for you to do it and sign it. We don't have a problem. We just won't set it then, I guess. I mean, if they're, and
Well, I
I'm,
mean, if you're saying you won't set it if I don't do it, then I'm gonna. do it.
no, I'll set it. We'll set it. Apparently, my understanding is Pennsylvania wants the attorney. I didn't create this rule, Mr. Kearney, and if you don't want to do it, don't do it. I don't care. I'll set it and he won't be there. So
I mean,
I don't,
it's
and
just
I
like
don't
we
know how
had
that.
multiple hearings where he did show up and I didn't have to fill out
I
any
can't
paperwork.
explain that. We can send the notice and if they let him on, they let him on.
I'll send it. I'll do it after I finish this email, but
Okay, but I take exception to you saying that I'm not the one that's requiring it. We're trying to get your client on and trying to be cooperative, and I can guarantee you that Heather and Michelle have spent way more time trying to figure this out than you have. Heather's been on the phone multiple times
I'm
with them.
sure they have. I'm sure
And
they
she
have.
would rather just have herself do it because that's a hell of a lot easier than arguing with you.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? So, but.
All right,
but-
well, I will reply and put the correct Zoom number in. That is not a big
Okay, thanks.
fix.
I appreciate it. Because then they'll be calling in on mine.
Good morning,
Are we
Mr.
waiting on
Mays.
anything?
Not yet. Mr. Mays, good
Good
morning.
morning, Your Honor.
No, it's Michelle.
Oh, Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. We've been waiting for you. What are we doing on your case, Mr. Lawson? Mr. Lawson's been waiting for you.
Okay, we were scheduled
Sure.
at 10, right? Sorry, I was just running a couple minutes.
You're okay. No,
Wasn't
you're
at
fine.
9, right?
No. He logged on early. You're fine. Mr. Mays, do you need to speak with Miss Gillis or?
It's a Van Buren case, isn't it?
It's a state case.
Is it?
What's the case?
Kenneth Lawson.
Oh,
It's a state case. I'm looking
okay.
at it.
I'm looking at it. Yeah, go ahead and put me in.
Made
with
me
Jen,
nervous for a minute that I messed
I
up.
have a file, Mr. Mays. We don't make files on the Van Buren.
Okay, all right, okay, all right.
Would you like to go in a breakout room with Miss Gillis?
Yes, please.
Twice
Yes,
with
please.
me.
Go ahead and join the
Morning.
breakout room. You go back
Thank
where you
you.
were, Jane.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Miss Phelps, let's see if the Zoom user is. Let's hope. Oh, and he's trying to connect. Good morning. The person who just joined a Zoom user, can I have your name?
Demetri Stone.
Mr. Stone, we found you.
Yeah, I was logged into the wrong one.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Miss Phelps, what are we doing on Mr. Stone's case?
I'm still missing some discovery on this. I sent Jane an email just now with all the specifics of it.
Okay.
I'd like to put that on the record and then ask for another PCC since we.
Do you want to wait for Jane to come back?
I guess so.
Okay. She shouldn't be gone long.
Answer a phone call.
Good morning. The person who joined Ahmed Al-Sali. Can you tell me what case you're here for? Miss Phelps, do you want me to stick you in the breakout room with Jane and kind of get her out?
Sure.
If you don't want to wait, maybe that'll help. Oh, actually, you're already assigned to there. You can just join if you want.
Seems she needs a moment.
Okay.
Natalie, did you want to talk to me? No, we're just ready to go on Stone.
No, we're
right?
just gonna put it on the record. Hold on.
Oh. Is Kathy B, are you coming to court today? Alex,
Hi, Jane.
Alex,
Hi, Jane.
I've got like
All right,
five.
good morning
missing files that
again.
we had
People
before.
versus Demetrius Stone.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Neighborhood Defender Service of Detroit by Natalie Phelps, P83355, appearing on behalf of Mr. Demetrius Stone, who is also present via Zoom. Your Honor, I'm just asking for another PCC. In this case, I am still missing some outstanding digital discovery. I received some dash cam and body cam. However, the footage on those, all of those files starts after the alleged surveillance of my client, and the officers even state that there is dash cam surveillance and that they've reviewed gas station surveillance footage of my client. And so I would like all of that before we have a preliminary exam.
Okay. Ms. Gillis, you got that?
Yeah, I got it.
And I also
how many
provided that
weeks?
in writing.
How many weeks? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What are we looking at?
2 or 3 weeks is fine.
The 2nd, the 9th, Ms. Phelps?
Either one is fine.
Michelle?
How about the 9th at 10:30?
And that's with Judge Oakley.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're all set.
Great, have a nice day.
Mr. Mays, are you ready on Lawson?
We are.
People versus Kenneth Lawson.
Good morning, Your Honor. William Mays on behalf of Mr. Lawson.
Jane Gillis on behalf of the people.
So, Your Honor, there's really no offer on this case, so we're going to ask for an adjournment so I can send a letter to Gary.
You need more than what, how much time do you need?
Well, he's maybe 6 weeks.
Michelle, do it March the 2nd. Is this a, okay, do it March the 2nd.
That'll work.
Hey,
Michelle, what
Mr.
time?
Pretty open, Mr. Mays. Are you available early or do you need a little bit
Yeah.
later?
Nope, 9
Okay.
o'clock's fine, 8:30, whatever.
Let's do 9 a.m. on March 2nd.
Sounds good. And Mr. Lawson, I'm going to give you a call here in just a moment, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, you're all set.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Judge.
Your Honor.
Yeah. Anything else ready, Michelle?
Not yet. Good morning. Is it Mr. Edwards?
Ms.
The
Buck?
person who joined Ahmed Al-Sali? I'm sorry, Mr. Kearney, what you need?
So I think that the prosecutor might have Miss Bellink's phone number.
Oh. Okay, yeah, because I looked up in our system. We didn't have it in our contact.
And it
Miss
would
who?
be great to get her on so we don't.
Jane, Jane, do you have for Bellink? Do you have a phone number in there for the defendant?
Hold on, got the file. Let me check. The defendant.
And if not, her father's number is in there, but it's redacted for some reason.
I do not have a phone number for Erica Belink. Who's Larry Belink?
Her
Oh,
father.
that's the victim though. Oh, no, it's not. What complaint? It says it's him, but it's a possession.
Yeah, they get called for a DV, but no DV charges get arise out of it because the DV is like a.
I'm gonna send you the phone number, Mr. Kearney, for the dad. I've got it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm not even call. Judge?
Yes.
This is reminding me when I put that number into my phone, I actually spoke with Miss Belink a week ago. Hold on, let me get the actual detail correct here. So Miss Belink has a heroin problem, and she, on January 7th, we talked for 15 minutes. And she was going to an inpatient facility, and she's where her kids can go with her for she has a 30-day blackout period. And I'm blanking on where she told me, but I was driving. I got. So given that, my request would be to adjourn the PCC out 30 days. She has my phone number, and I instruct her to call me once she's out of her blackout period.
So, and you spoke to her and she was in the blackout period on what date?
She had not gone yet. When she called me, she said, in 2 days, I'm going to this inpatient facility with my
And what date did you talk to her?
That was the 7th of January.
Okay, so we could put it out to February 16th.
And see where we're at. I mean, maybe, is that your honor's date? I think a little bit later might be beneficial.
We could do it the 23rd or the 2nd.
Either of those dates would work.
Why don't we go to March 2nd? Michelle, give a date. Nine thirty on the 2nd.
What judge is that going to be?
It's me.
I'm sorry, Judge, I was interviewing. Is that for an exam or PCC?
It's a PCC.
Okay.
For Ms. Blank. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it for me, Judge. I will.
Did you find your client, Mr. Kearney, in the other room?
Did we find Mr. Smith?
No.
Or wait, what about Jacoby Williams?
Oh, yeah, all those things.
Oh, yes, and yeah, so no, you're not done. Have you talked to Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Did you see my message, Michelle?
No. I don't see one from you.
Oh,
No, I have nothing from you.
oh,
Where'd you send it?
on the chat.
Nope. Unless you sent it a long time ago.
Was kind of a while ago.
I'll be right back.
No, that's not the one. Here.
I'm looking here.
I just sent it again.
Oh, no, I saw that. Yeah. It just wasn't
Yes.
relevant at that
If I
moment.
sound like I'm checking out, I'm trying to interview and talk to people.
You're fine. Good morning, Mr. Perkins. Have you checked in?
Thank you.
Mr. Curry, are you ready on Mr. Perkins' case? Or Mr. Perkins, are we waiting on your client?
Yes, yes, I am ready, Your Honor.
Okay, do we need to wait on your client? He's not here.
Yeah, but let me find out. He was checking in. We had talked to him earlier this morning. Let me, if I can have a second.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Hi, Judge. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, just in the middle of prepping.
Ms. Belcher, I think that you are free to go. There's two defendants, Tennille and Church, left. They were set at 9:15 and 9:30, so I imagine that there are no shows. If there's something that comes up, I'll let you know.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You too.
Church, and who else was a no-show?
Church, Tennille, and Tucker. The three of them were no-shows. And then Detective Carmona, are you still here on a case? What are you waiting on? Or you're on Robertson? You're here on Robertson. Never mind, I answered my own question. And Mr. Kearney, we're waiting on Mr. Williams and
Mr. Smith.
And Mr. Smith. And then who's on Harris and Neely?
Lauren Anderson is on Harris.
And what happened with Neely?
I'm
Did
looking.
we already do it?
What page is it on?
You know what, this may be
Yeah.
a set, hang on just a second. Oh, I think that they accidentally put this in my pile for some reason. The Register of Action said it's January 26th with Judge
Okay.
Martin. I'm gonna give this file to you, Michelle.
Okay. Miss Anderson, we had somebody by the name of Corey Edwards that was trying to log on, but he couldn't get his audio and now we can't find him. Could he be Mr. Harris?
He may be. The number that I was given for this individual is not the correct number. So the person calling is not him. So I'm not.
Maybe he'll try to log back in because he tried a couple times and then I haven't seen him back in, but I'll watch.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Kearney,
Yes,
what are we doing with Williams?
we weren't able to get a misdemeanor offer from the gun board, given the court's ruling. So we're just gonna be submitting on the record and asking the court to do what it's gonna do.
Yeah, I have that count 1, 3, and 4 were dismissed.
That's correct. Leaving just the CCW.
Actually, it says 1, 3, and 4, which leaves 2 and 5. Right?
1 second, I'm pulling the case up. I don't think 5 will come along. I think 5 has to go away.
5 is dismissed also.
Yeah, just because it can be paired with a CCW.
Right. All right, well, we'll wait for your client.
I did just get a hold
Oh,
of it.
you know what? This is a mistake anyway, because the form for the bind over doesn't even have a count 5. So I don't know how somehow that got screwed up, but I'll make an indication that that's dismissed also.
Okay.
All right, so I just need Mr. Williams.
Yeah, I talked to him. I think he fell asleep. So you should be here.
That's not a good sign, Mr. Kearney.
Yeah, for a drug. So, do we ever get Ori Smith?
No.
But they did have him in a different judge's courtroom, right?
No. No.
I've written and talked to those people till I'm blue in the face. No.
Yeah, what did, Mr. Kearney, oh, he disappeared. Did he do the new date for next, the request for next week? Michelle, Heather took it.
Let me ask her.
Mr. Kearney, in the meantime, on Smith, do you want me to, do you want us to just redo the writ for next week, 2 week? What do you want me to do?
I'll defer to the court. I mean, realistically, I think it makes sense with him having a jury trial, non-jury trial in Allegheny County set for March 16th. I think it would probably, you know, the writ for video conferencing would be all we would be accomplishing. I wouldn't want to, we want to get him here to get this resolved. But I
Right.
don't want to interfere with his Allegheny County proceedings and mess those up. So
No, I understand that. I meant by Zoom. Do you want me to reset it for a week, 2 weeks? What?
I think I'm already back before the court. What do we set for the second?
I don't know.
So the only thing is, I just say this, if he gets found guilty on his bench trial and gets sentenced to time, I'm willing to do like something that would be concurrent and make it go away real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I'm already back before the court at 9:45 for Henry Remsen on the 2nd.
Well, why don't we do that and then you then maybe set it up. I don't, we'll set it to get him in front so you can talk to him at least and get it. Okay, so it's the 2nd at what time?
9:45 was the other
Michelle,
one.
is that good?
Sure.
Okay, the 2nd at 9:45, and then Michelle, you guys are gonna reset a writ.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, there's Mr. Harris.
And then all we have left, well, I have Mr. Robertson's case, but as Corey Harris. So, and Mr. Kearney on Jacoby
Yeah, I'm
Williams. Yep.
Miss Anderson, do you need to speak to Mr. Harris or?
So I actually don't. He just called me. He got my number off a letter we had sent him, and
Good
he
deal.
was trying to sign in. So I actually don't need one. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Harris, can you hear us?
Oh, that is the same person that was logging in before.
Mr. Harris, can you hear us?
No.
No. Maybe.
Be set for another appointment, I believe, February 5th, 2022.
And that is what Mr. Smith informed me of as well, Your Honor.
Let's see.
Mr. Anderson, what are we doing anyway?
I've received paper, but not digital. So we need an adjourned PCC.
Okay. How many weeks?
It's up to Miss Gillis. You set my other one on February 2nd, if you'd like to set that the same day.
Michelle, if we do it February 2nd?
Yes. Can we do it at 10:15?
No problem.
And that's with Judge Martin. Let's see if
he's got it now, I think.
Mr. Harris, can you hear me now?
I'm so sorry. Yes.
No, you're totally good. I'll call the case and we'll do it. People versus Corey Harris. Miss Anderson, you're asking for an adjournment, is that correct, to get digital discovery?
That's correct. Yes, ma'am.
And so I'm gonna adjourn it, Mr. Harris, for 2 weeks to February the 2nd
Okay.
at 10:15, and that's actually gonna be with Judge Martin. So you're gonna switch courtrooms, okay?
Okay, January 2nd.
February 2nd.
Oh, I'm sorry, February 2nd. Thank you. I'm sorry.
February 2nd at 10:15, and Miss Anderson will be in contact with you, okay?
Okay, this is my first time. I'm sorry about
You're,
that.
you did fine.
All right.
I'm gonna
You're all
get.
good. You're all set for today. Thank you. And Miss
Thank you. Have a good
Anderson,
day.
have a great day.
Thank you. You as well.
Mr. Kearney, Mr. Williams is jumping on right now. Ms. Gillis, this was set for a motion for bind over on the 1 count of count 2 of the weapons count. Argument, Mr. Kearney.
I have no argument, Judge. I submit on the record.
All right, Mr. Williams, can you hear us?
He doesn't have any audio. I'm trying to talk to him.
Yeah, all right, let's wait a second. And then we're still waiting on Mr. Robertson for Mr. Perkins' case.
I believe Mr. Williams is connected now, Judge.
He's working on it. There you go.
Okay, now, Mr. Williams, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. People versus Jacoby Williams. This matter was originally set for an exam on actually on November, in November for a live exam. Then we ended up doing it by Zoom. And then it was adjourned today for a bind over decision. Count 1, 3, 4, and 5 technically were dismissed, and we were waiting on a decision from the gun board, which Mr. Kearney indicated that there was a denial from the gun board for the reduction to a misdemeanor. Motion to bind over on the 1 count by Ms. Gillis. You gotta unmute yourself, Ms. Gillis.
Sorry, I'll move over to bind over on the 1 count, count 2 CCW.
And Mr. Kearney, no argument.
Correct.
I'm gonna bind the defendant over on the 1 count. The arraignment on the information will take place 2 weeks from today on February the 2nd. Mr. Williams, your attorney will be in contact with you. I think that the bond was a personal bond. Yeah, it was. So I'll continue the personal bond and you're all set, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, I actually believe that's the end for me.
Yep, you're done.
And everyone have a good day.
You too. And Ms. Gillis, we have a formal hearing at 11, so if you want to stick on and wait for that.
We're using the computer audio.
So we're not showing.
Good morning again, Mr. Perkins. Your client is on.
Oh, that's mine.
I'm ready, Your Honor.
Okay, People versus Major Robertson. Mr. Curry, on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. APA Alex Curry on behalf of the people, P84950.
Yes.
And Mr. Perkins.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Good morning to your staff. May it please this honorable court. My name is Todd Russell Perkins, P55623, appearing on behalf of Mr. Robertson, agreeing to conduct this hearing by way of Zoom, albeit we did have in-person proceedings for the purposes of testimony in this matter, Your Honor.
And we put this matter over for an argument on bind over from the live exam that was, I have that it was December 1st. Is that really? Could have been.
Something like that.
Apparently.
It
It's
was
been
December 1st, Judge.
early December. And on the issue of the issue of the consent for the bag check. And I have gotten Mr. Perkins from you the motion and brief on behalf of your client. And Mr. Curry, I know that you had reached out and asked if you could respond orally, and that the court had indicated that was allowable. Mr. Perkins, your motion.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so there's several different motions, and considering that it's a motion issue that I'm bringing up, Your Honor,
I will just say though that I'm a little bit, because there are issues in one of the motions that wasn't testimony, that wasn't, and so I'm not sure if we shouldn't deal with that. Do you know what I'm saying? You made assertions about things happening out of the purview of a video, stuff that was not in the testimony or seen by the court. Do we agree?
Understood, and that's why I did it in a motion form. And, you know, to the extent that all motions that are constitutional in nature are relevant at each and every juncture of a court proceeding. So oftentimes you hear, you know, and I don't know if Mr. Curry's heard this over the years, but I know Your Honor's heard this over the years, you know, the prosecution's office will always say, well, we'll take care of that downtown. But at the end of the day, if it's something that's laid at the feet of the court, we want the court and each and every judge, each and every court to consider that, because it is a constitutional issue.
No, I understand. Mr. Curry, do you understand what I'm saying? And the one issue about things happening outside the purview, you know, that the allegation that the bag was open before there was, you know, before the dog showed up, and if you had a chance to either speak with your officers or review the tapes.
I have not spoken with the officers after the actual exam, Judge. And to address Mr. Perkins's point first, while all of the issues brought up are indeed relevant to a district court, it was the people's understanding that Your Honor had ruled on that there hadn't been a Fourth Amendment violation, and we were today addressing the narrow issue of whether, for Fifth Amendment purposes, specifically Miranda, whether there needed to be
a search warrant or not.
What's that?
Whether or not there needed to be a search warrant, whether he was in custody, whether that they.
Right. Whether he needed to be Mirandized before he gave consent for the search of the bag.
So in response to that, Your Honor, I understand what Mr. Curry's saying. He's not inaccurate. But as you unpack these issues, it's impossible to really deal with it in that finite scope. And so as we started researching this, and as we started doing it, because as the court may recall, I said that, hey, at the end of December or the beginning of January, I'll have this in. And that's the reason why I asked for an extra week. I was surprised, or I was pleasantly surprised to see that Mr. Curry was last week ready to respond. I was asking for additional week because it took me a while to get the transcript in this matter. And also then I had COVID. So I was a little delayed, and I wanted to give him as much time as possible to respond, because as you unpack this issue, the issue was whether or not to give consent was something that's what we started talking about. But we can't forego the issues that took place. And it's a chronology that is part of the record and is part of testimony in the record as it relates to, we have Detective Hashem stating that, it's a clear inaccuracy. Whether it's inaccurate or some people might maybe say he's lying, but he says that the dogs were downstairs, and this is where it becomes an expanded scope of what we're asking the court to do in this particular matter, because you can't look at it this way. But I'm representing to the court something that is, it's objective. It's by video. You can recognize this. But as you may recall from the transcript and from the testimony, Detective Hashem says that he had the dogs come downstairs, and that was the reason why he smelled it. I cross-examined him on his ability to smell it, to pull it off the belt. And then he says, well, downstairs, before they took it upstairs, the dog hit on it, and that was the reason why they took it upstairs. That's factually inaccurate, because I did ask the officer who held the dog, who's the keeper for the dog. I did ask him.
Handler.
Yes, the handler. I'm sorry. Yes, handler for the dog. When was the first encounter you had? And the first encounter they had was at the gate. And if you look at the video that's at the gate, and he indicated that he's the only one that had video. If you look at the video that's at the gate, he's approaching that bag, and in that bag is already open. It's already been searched. It's already been reviewed. So
well, why don't we, I am going to take this a little bit out of order, because I want to deal with let's start with the consent. I can back out and have this argument, but I think let's start with the consent.
Okay.
Mr. Curry, here's my concern. You have a guy that's trying to get on a flight, and you have an officer, I don't remember who it was, that said to the agent, he's not getting on this flight. That means to me, he's not free to leave.
True, Judge, but for Miranda purposes, one does not need to be Mirandized before they give consent to a search, because as I'm prepping for an exam right now, Miranda is meant for the statements that are meant for Miranda are statements that are designed to elicit an incriminating response. And the Michigan Court of Appeals has ruled that requests for consent searches are not, let me make sure I'm reading this right. In Reed and People v. Marzak, I have the citations here. I can forward these to you, Judge. It says our Supreme Court has held that the absence of Miranda warnings will not automatically invalidate a consent search, as Fifth Amendment protections are not applicable to requests for a consent search. And that's pursuant to People v. Marzak, 231 Mich. App 364, published in 1998, or decided in 1998, Judge. So the people's contention is, for these purposes, Miranda wasn't necessary, as it was just a request for a consent search, not a statement or activity designed to elicit an incriminating response. So Judge, Miranda doesn't even apply here. It would be the people's.
Can I ask Mr. Curry, could you give me that site again, Mr. Curry?
Yes, Mr. Perkins. It is 231 mich.app 364.
364, thank you.
And it's People v. Marzak.
What, spell the last name?
MARSAK. SACK, excuse me.
And that was what year was that case?
1998.
So the people's position is pursuant to Marzak that that the consent to search doesn't amount to a statement for purposes under Miranda, which is really what the issue was that we were talking about.
Correct.
I mean, there's with cars at the side of the road, there's inventory, there are other issues with consent to search, but the bag, okay, Mr. Perkins.
Yes.
In response to that specific issue.
Absolutely, I'll deal with that. So, and may it please the court. So in dealing with that specific issue, Your Honor, you have to go to the other cases that we cited, specific cases that dealt with Detroit. It was interesting to find Detroit Metropolitan Airport cases on point on this, and it indicates it is on page 7 of my brief. It's United States versus McCaleb, 552 F. 2nd 717, a Court of Appeals 6th Circuit case, 1977. This is federal court for the 6th Circuit, so I think that this would be precedent setting, or not necessarily, it would be more, it's more than just instructive to this court. So it says in another case where the defendant was found in possession of heroin, the Court of Appeals suppressed the evidence and held that the consent to search had not been voluntarily given, principally because it was the fruit of what the court believed to have been an unconstitutional detention. So when we saw that case, we recognized, because what happens is under the umbrella of an unlawful detention and an unlawful search. So the court's concerns are correct. You're going exactly what we're talking about, but I'll take it a step further. Because it's announced on the overhead, because it's announced in certain different ways that, and the presence of police, as I mentioned in here, they've got firearms that are on them. They have these, this presence that indicates, and he's like, the statement, he's not getting on that flight. Those are the detentions right there, but they didn't have a basis for detaining him necessarily at that point. But more importantly, you know, when we say that Miranda did not have to be given for the purposes of the consent to search, it obviates the actual ability to get the consent to search if it's unlawful detention, which is what we're suggesting that it was. And every factor shows that it was. And what I would say is that case alone does not specifically align itself with the factual circumstances that happened in this case, where they took the luggage up, they announced over the overhead. We're not talking about a car stop. We're not talking about those things. Now we are talking about the airport, but this is an airport case. And then we also indicate that there is, you know, as far as the consent to search, and you look at the.
Well, here's my question though. What made, I mean, and I didn't go back and read Michaela, but what, and Mr. Curry, if you know the answer to this, what made the detention in Michaela an unconstitutional detention? I mean, that's the critical question.
From a factual standpoint, or but it's
well, I mean, they said that it's not every detention is an unconstitutional detention. So they made a finding that this was an unconstitutional detention. And so you can't just slap that word on every detention and call them unconstitutional detentions. There's got to be, why in that case was it an unconstitutional, what about the fact pattern? Why was it an unconstitutional detention?
Well, and in response to that, Your Honor, not answering, I don't like not answering a court's query, but what I would say is that every case is separate, and you're right, the court is absolutely correct. Every detention is not an unlawful detention, but in this situation, what I'm saying is the analysis has to take place in this case, and that's why you see a motion.
But let me stop you and ask you this question though. In this case, so they would need some reason to detain him. But if you're going to, let's say he is detained, you know, I mean, that's a separate argument on whether he was actually detained or not, or whether their position is that he was free to leave, that he wasn't detained. I mean, they have this bag that Officer Hashem, to my memory, said that he smelled marijuana on. And I know we got into whether you thought he could smell it or not, or whatever. And so while they're waiting for the dog, and I know there's this other issue that you have, that they opened the bag or whatever before the dog came, and their position is that Mr. Robertson consented to the search of the bag. But before they opened the bag, was him being, we'll use the word detained, is that an unconstitutional? They have a bag that they're charged, it's an international airport. We all agree that they're charged with making sure that they've always been charged with protecting the safety of the passengers, regardless of, you want to talk post 9/11 or pre 9/11. But with that being said, they do some cursory review of bags that are going on planes for obvious reasons. And this bag was pulled, and so the question that I have is his testimony, for purposes of exam only, is his testimony sufficient for purposes of probable cause, that he had probable cause to approach and have a conversation with Mr. Robertson, whether it was a detention or what, or let's call it a detention, to detain Mr. Robertson That's the question.
Oh, okay.
That,
May I respond, Your Honor?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So to that exact point, what I'm saying is that you can't have an illegal, you can't have a proper detention if you lie to get there. You know, you can't lie to kick it, as they say in the streets. What I'm saying is,
but along those same lines, Officer Hashem testified what he testified to. And I have no reason to believe, as I sit here today, that he was lying.
no, what I'm saying, he's lying about the fact that he said that that dog hit on it down when it was on the cart, when that's not true, because the agent, the handler for the dog, said that he testified the first interaction they had with the bag when it was opened up on the right by the gate, right by the
and so Mr. Curry, do you have a response to that specific issue?
Judge, as the factual issue, I don't recall that testimony. So I recall as I remember the events, it was Investigator Hashem smelled marijuana emanating from a bag, and then there was a drug. There was at some point before they got to the gate, there was the positive drug hit, which would the only contention that the people would add at this point, which would a positive hit from a positive indication from a drug dog does give probable cause.
No, I understand that, but Mr. Perkins' position is that, and I'm not sure the timeline of the event, but I have a bigger issue, is that even if Mr. Perkins is right, that there was testimony from Officer Hashem that said that the dog hit before, and that in actuality on review of the tapes that the dog, it almost doesn't make sense to me that there was no dog hit before. I mean, that's not what the dog handler said, and I didn't review a videotape, but you still come to a question, even if I take your argument is accurate, that you reviewed the tape and that the officer walked up and that it appears that he had not had contact with the defendant before, which means that the bag was already open. And I don't know that there was never a question with the officer of, did the dog hit the bag downstairs? I don't know, but here's the troubling part though, is does that mean that the officer was mistaken or lying? They're two completely different outcomes. I mean, you're making the argument of the fruits of the officer that was lying, and it appears to me that whether that's true or not would be an issue for a jury to decide. It's a fact issue on whether he's lying.
no,
Judge, if I may respond to that very briefly. First, sorry, Mr. Perkins.
Go ahead.
I would first contend that it would be an issue as to a trier of fact as to what happened first. Did Officer Investigator Hashem smell the marijuana emanating from the bag, and then the drug dog appeared or showed up there, or did Investigator Hashem move in? In full disclosure, I did not review the tape, Judge. I'm going off of my memory from the testimony, as well as my notes, as well as to what my recollection of what Officer Hatcham and the drug dog handler testified to. But I would say, as to the smell of the marijuana emanating from the bag, Judge, the people would posit it would have to go to a trier effect, because the subjective intent of an officer stopping someone for anything, Judge, for a reasonable suspicion Terry stop or a probable cause. Or for probable cause search and arrest purposes, the subjective intent isn't relevant. It is what the objective facts are. And as Officer Hatcham testified to on the stand, was that he smelled marijuana emanating from the bag. Now, that may not be probable cause of itself for them to search the bag, but the fact was that there was later a indication from the drug dog that a positive identification came from that bag, is my best recollection of the testimony.
And if I may respond, Your Honor.
Yeah, go ahead.
I draw you to the argument that we made on page 3. And it says, Officer Hashem then testified that a canine sweep detected the odor of narcotics, which then led him to consent to search. That can't be the case. That is absolutely cannot be the case if you look at the circumstances under which he's saying. But he then also says, more specifically, investigator Hashem testified that he left the luggage downstairs and requested that canine officer bring the bag up to the boarding gate because the canine officer was more experienced in that field himself. I've cited those pages in the transcript of where there's at. So then you go to the next page and it indicates, and I'll say first, canine officer Eric Johansson testified that he was not responsible for bringing the luggage upstairs and that it was already with Officer Hashem upstairs at the boarding gate when he first arrived to search luggage. I don't see how you can't make that a lie. That's not something that we can do. We can't afford them that. And so when you say going to the issue of the trier of fact for the purposes of an evidentiary hearing, regardless, the prosecutor picked his ears back. As soon as you said trier of fact, he said, that's my moment.
Mr. Curry, I mean, he was clear that the dog hit on it before they opened the bag. I mean, he did testify to that.
That's my recollection as well, Judge.
And so, I mean, and I have not reviewed this tape, Mr. Curry. It was never presented to me. I didn't see it, but you have it, Mr. Curry.
Let me,
but even more than that, he's saying it happened downstairs, Your Honor. And he told the officer to bring it up, the canine officer to bring it up. That's not true. The canine officer said, I encountered the bag, and he's indicated, I encountered the bag at the gate.
I don't recall whether or not the testimony, I mean, I understand that's your interpretation. I do not recall where the transcript, I haven't reviewed the transcript or the tape. I feel like I'm in a vacuum here with the
COVID vacuum, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's so true. But I'm not clear that that's what the testimony says. And Mr. Curry, you obviously, because if Mr. Perkins is right and the testimony is completely contradictory from the video, then there's a problem.
Well, I agree, Judge. So,
and the
so
only
Mr.
video
Perkins,
we have is Johansson's video, because he was the only one that had the body.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
So you have to read the transcript and review the video, Mr. Curry. That's my thought. And apparently so do I.
all right, Mr. Perkins, do you recall which video it was?
It's the
You know what? I'm gonna stick you guys. I'm gonna stick the two of you in a breakout room real quick.
Okay.
Can you do that?
All right. Thank you.
Do you need Detective Carmona too in there or no?
I don't. I mean,
I didn't think you did. Go ahead and hit join. Miss Gillis, on Mr. Kuza's case, you wanna People versus Joe Kuza. Do you want to have a conversation with Miss Kuza? Do you need a breakout with
Yes, please, Your Honor.
With Miss Gillis? And Miss Gillis, this is set for a formal, the officer is John Christensen from Michigan State Police. Do we have, it was set at 11 a.m. Oh, no, wait a second. Why is this? There's a pre-hearing that's set at 3:10. Is it, so it was set for a pre-hearing. I'm confused.
Your Honor, I could help with that. I actually called the clerk about a week or two ago, and I explained that I have to pick up my kids at 3 from school.
Oh,
so
got
they moved
it. Okay, so I'm going to put
Thank
you in a
you.
breakout room with Miss Gillis, and you guys resolve it or not.
Thank you.
Miss Gillis, go ahead and rejoin one, and I'll send her there. Are you there? Miss Gillis, are you there? Oh, no, but in 2 minutes, yeah, that's fine. Mr. Nunley, or you, yeah, Miss Gillis. Mr. Nunley, what are you here on?
Goebel. bench
Oh, is
trial.
that by Zoom?
Yep.
And Mr. Riley is also by Zoom. I don't have,
The person who just joined with the phone number 4220, can I have your name?
Sorry, I really thought I could talk. I'm usually pretty good about that.
Jane, you're
Miss
supposed to
Gillis,
be in.
go to room 1, although it's, the breakout room's gonna end in a minute. But Mary Kuza is on there with that, pre-hearing. Do you hear me, Miss Gillis?
Does she have it?
Yeah, I just heard you. Mary Kuza's on for the pre-hearing. That's all I heard.
Yeah, I'm gonna clear the rooms out. I'm gonna end them and restart them. Sorry.
Who's Mary Kuza?
She's the
Hey.
attorney on the Kuza case. She's jumping out and then I'm gonna restart them.
Come on in.
Hang on. Sorry about that. My breakout rooms ended, so I'll put you guys back in.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, maybe.
Slap the kid. She kicked her ass. Mom got on top of her.
So it's going.
Okay.
I thought I could settle it. I was so convinced I could settle it.
Okay,
Judge ahead of time too.
hang on just a second. There you go, Mr. Perkins and Mr. Curry. And then Miss Gillis, I'm sending you in with Miss Kuza.
Okay.
And then, did we figure out, Mr. Gander, what are you here for?
I'm here for Lauren Garrison, Lauren Riley.
For Lauren Riley, are you are you the victim?
No, I'm here to testify. I had a subpoena.
Okay,
That's me.
Michelle, did you have that's live?
I don't have it either. Let me look it up in the system.
It is live, but we're calling in from Tucson, Arizona.
Okay. Michelle, will you call downstairs?
What'd you do? How come it went away? Join audio? Didn't-
Hey, Michelle, could I get a breakout room with Mr. Goebel whenever you get a second?
she just walked out, but what, yeah, Miss, is that Kelly's Galaxy?
I think it is.
On Kelly's Galaxy, is that you, Miss Goebel?
Mr. Goebel.
Miss Goebel, sorry. Mr. Goebel, can you hear me? The person with the phone identifier ending in 4220, can I have your name?
Natalie Suggs,
And what case are you on?
Kelly Goble.
Okay, are you the victim or who are you?
Witness.
A witness.
A witness?
Could I get in a breakout room then with that person and Mr. Goebel? So it'd be Kelly's Galaxy and that phone identifier?
Okay, yep.
I'm gonna put my earphones in. So it's not
Okay.
recording, okay, honey?
Okay.
So if you go ahead and join breakout room number 3,
Oh.
Mr. Nunley will meet you there.
sent. April 16th.
16.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and you're waiting and you,
How do you remember that date? I was there taking care of my mom's estate. That's right. That's right. I remember
so
telling
you were,
Ms. Kuza, did you guys resolve it?
do you mean the Kuza thing or the bench trial?
The Kuza thing.
Yeah, I gave her a deal, drop the insurance and limited access 1 to 5.
So for 250, is she gonna, we lost her, was she gonna pay it within 30 days or something?
Yeah. I think she went to leave the breakout room and left the whole thing.
That's fine, if she checks back in, otherwise they'll send a notice.
Okay.
And then on the, I have, Mr. Nunley in a breakout room with Miss Goebel. I don't see a witness on that case.
I have a witness here.
You have a witness live, then stick him in front of a camera.
Yeah, he'll come in here.
Okay, that's fine. And then you have your witness on Riley is Mr. Gander that's here. Did you need to talk to him?
I did.
And they're in the courtroom.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to settle that. Okay, give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
The person who joined with the Galaxy Note, can I have your name?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
is that-
that's you. That's you. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think
I went ahead, yes, Ms. Kuza, I knew that we lost you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It's 250. Can they pay that within 30 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I amended it to the limited access, dismiss the no proof of insurance, correct?
Yep, perfect.
Okay,
Thanks so
perfect. You're
much.
all set. Yep, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hi, how are you? My name's Jane Gillis. I'm the Wayne County prosecutor in this case. I was just asking your son. I'm gonna get your boyfriend.
Person with the identifier as Natalie, can you hear me? Mr. Nunley, are you ready on Kelly Goble?
Yeah, we're ready.
Miss Gillis, are you ready on Goble? You're muted, Miss Gillis. Miss Gillis, can you hear me? Miss Gillis, are you ready on Goble?
I'm ready on Goble. I'm just gonna bring them in and put them on. Can I put them on your stand there? Or do you want me to put them on the screen here?
You can put them on the screen there. We're all here. It's supposed to be by Zoom. People versus Kelly Goble.
Okay, let me go get them. Let me go get. Can you hear us?
Yes.
And,
yeah.
I'm gonna put this screen like this. Don't, can you look in the screen? Can you guys see him?
Down a little
Hello.
bit. Perfect. People
Make sure
versus
it's-
Kelly. People
Making sure
versus
it's out.
Kelly. People versus Kelly Goble. Mr. Nunley on behalf of Mr. Goble.
Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Kelly Goble, who is appearing by Zoom.
And Mr. Goble, can you turn your camera on?
I'm trying, I don't see a button any. There we go. There we go. Is that it?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh.
Yep.
There you go. Yep, that works. All right, Ms. Gillis, go ahead and call your first witness.
You know what, I'm thinking I'm gonna probably dismiss count two, not Royce. I'm sure you don't object. Anyways, Jane Gillis on behalf of the people, my first witness.
Okay, but
Is
before we
Riley
start,
Ray.
Jane-
Wait a second, Ms. Gillis. So you're not proceeding on count two?
No, they didn't live together.
Okay,
At the time.
They didn't know that.
we do not object to dismissing count two, obviously.
Okay,
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Gillis.
okay. Be sworn in.
You have to call, okay, can you raise your right
Riley
hand?
James Way.
Can you raise your right hand? Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter will be the truth, so help you God?
I say that, I'm sorry?
Do you swear to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Ms. Gillis.
Okay, Mr. Way, I'd like to draw your attention back to the date of 11/29/2020 at 13 Brandy Drive in Van Buren Township. Were you there on that day?
Yes.
Whose house is that?
My mother's ex's daughter-in-law.
Okay. It's not your grandparents?
No, it's not my grandparents' house.
Okay. Okay, so you were at that house. Were you there with your mother?
Yes.
Were you there with her then boyfriend, Kelly Franklin Goble?
Yes.
Do you see Mr. Goble on the screen today?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Tell me, describe him. Does he have facial hair? What color shirt is he wearing?
He has
Okay.
he has a gray shirt. He has brownish beard, grayish.
Okay, can the record reflect he's identified the defendant?
It's reflected, yes.
Okay, so did you and Mr. Goble get into some sort of verbal argument that day?
Yes.
Okay, and did the situation kind of escalate? Did it grow?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened?
That day, my mother and him got into an argument, and my mother told me to go into the bedroom. I went into the bedroom. My mother started talking to me. He burst into the bedroom. He got on top of me, grabbed me by my throat.
Then what happened after he grabbed you by the throat?
He got up. He picked up a hammer. My mother told him to put it down. He put it down and then got back on top of me.
Okay, and did he grab you around the throat the second time too? Okay, did it cut some of the air off to your?
A little bit.
Objection, leading.
Sustained, rephrase the question.
Okay, how did it feel when he put his hands around your neck?
There was some pressure. It wasn't like I couldn't totally breathe. I could breathe some, but it wasn't like completely cut off.
Did it hurt?
Not necessarily. No. It wasn't painful. I could feel it.
Okay. Okay, you didn't want him to grab you around the neck, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I have no further questions, Mr. Nunley.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Riley.
Hi.
Or Mr. Way, I apologize. How long have you known Mr. Goble?
Since I was 5 years old, so like 10 years.
How old are you now, Mr. Way? How old are you?
15.
Okay.
Okay, and you met him when you were 5 or so, so you've known him approximately 10 years, is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, and when precisely did this event allegedly occur? Which date?
November 29th, 2020.
Do you remember what day of the week that was?
No, I do not.
Any reason to, if I were to look at the calendar and tell you that it was on a Sunday, would you have any reason to think that that wouldn't be true?
No, I probably be correct.
Okay, about what time of the day did this happen?
I think it would have been like 10 going on 11, maybe 12, something like that, 10 to 12.
Morning or evening?
Morning.
Okay. Were you in school in November of 2020?
I was.
Okay. So, okay, but you weren't in school at the time of the incident, obviously, right?
Correct.
Is it fair to say that if it was a school day between 10 and noon, you would have been in school?
It was Zoom classes, so like we had those periods of breaks.
Sure. Okay, so in November, the end of November 2020, you were doing Zoom schooling?
Yep.
Okay, do you remember that day? Did you have classes?
I can't tell you, I'm not sure.
Okay, gotcha. So you testified that Mr. Goebel is your mother's ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay, how long did they date? Do you remember?
Up until like last year.
Okay, is it up until last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Fair to,
yeah.
fair to say that you don't like Mr. Goebel very much. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. All right, but November of 2021, was Mr. Goebel living with your mother?
I wasn't living with her, but I don't think he was living with her, no.
It's 2020.
Right. 2020 of November 2020, was Mr. Goebel living with your mother?
No.
No. Okay.
They were on and off staying.
In whose house did you say this was?
Kelly's son's girlfriend.
Okay, so Mr. Goebel's son's girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay, and what were you doing at the house?
My mom lived there.
Okay, you didn't live there though?
I would come on the weekends usually, but since it was Zoom class, I stayed there for school.
Okay. Okay, and you're sure that that's November 29th, 2020, right?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have any further questions.
Anything else, Ms. Gillis?
Nothing.
Any other witnesses?
Yeah, I'm gonna call the mother. Let me get it. You read the mother.
Can you read me the statute, Ms. Gillis?
Well, the information, I only have the information, I have the statute that he did cause.
Physical harm.
Yeah, to a child. But the situation changed. I didn't know he was staying there for school. He told me he wasn't normally living there. It could be domestic violence. I'd ask that it be considered.
You already dismissed it. I already dismissed it at the beginning.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna call Shane.
He said he wasn't, he changed his story, but.
I know, okay.
Can you raise your right hand, ma'am? Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter will be the truth, so help you God. Be God, be God, be God, be God, be God, be God, be God. You're all set. Go ahead, Ms. Gillis.
Okay, can you state your name for the record? Holly McLean. Okay, and on November 29th, 2020, did you, were you staying or were you at 13 Brandy Drive in Van Buren Township?
Yes,
Okay, it was your boyfriend Kelly Goebel at that location?
he was visiting.
Okay, and did you get in an argument with Mr. Goebel?
There was an argument. I don't remember what it was over.
Okay, did he also argue with your son?
I told my son to go in the room, into the bedroom, and he went into the bedroom and Kelly was mad and came into the bedroom.
Okay, and what happened when you went into the bedroom?
He grabbed Riley by his throat.
Did you see this?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened next after that?
I knocked them down on the bed. And
Why would you knock them down on the bed?
I was trying to get them apart.
Okay, and did you eventually get them apart?
Eventually, yes, I did.
Okay, and what happened after you got them apart?
Riley called my mom and took off. And called the police.
Okay, did you see bruising on him or red?
No, I didn't really see him.
He took off.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no further questions, Mr. Nunley?
Mr. Nunley?
Yeah, hi. Okay, so what was the date of this incident again?
November 29th, 2020.
No, I'm asking the witness, Jane.
Oh, I apologize. I thought you didn't know because you mixed it up before. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Do you remember what month or what year it was?
It was last year or year before. I thought it was last year, but I don't remember.
Okay, so you thought it was 2021, but you don't have a specific recollection to say one way or another?
Right.
Okay, so you testified that they got into some sort of scuffle. Tell me specifically what you say happened between them. What did Mr. Goebel do to your son?
When he came in the bedroom, he grabbed him by the throat.
He grabbed him by the throat. Were you and your son arguing at that time?
No, my son and I weren't arguing at all.
You weren't? Okay. Do you remember your son telling you that you weren't acting like a mother?
Yeah, because I was with Kelly, yes.
But you weren't arguing?
No.
Okay. You testified that your son called somebody after that happened. Who did he call?
He called my mother.
Your mother. Okay, and your mother came to the house, right?
Yes.
It's true that you told your mother that Goebel was just hugging your son, right? Mr. Goebel?
I did not say that.
You didn't? Okay. So if your son were to have put that in a statement, he would have been lying?
I don't remember saying that. I don't remember much from that day, though.
Okay, and this house, were you living at this residence?
I was.
Okay, and this was the residence of Mr. Goebel's son's girlfriend, is that true?
Ex-girlfriend, yes.
Okay. All right, and so you're testifying that Mr. Goebel came there to visit on that day?
Yes.
Okay. So what happened after your mom came to the house to pick up your son?
She took my son to the police station and they made a police report, and here we are today. Eventually we got letters in the mail, but nothing happened.
Okay. All right, did your son have any injuries?
No.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions.
I have no redress.
Any other witnesses, Ms. Gillis?
No, that's it.
Mr. Nunley?
Yeah, I would like to call at least two witnesses. Is there a chance that I could have just a 3-minute breakout room with Mr. Goebel?
Yeah, I'll put you back in a breakout room.
Thank you.
You guys can both just rejoin breakout room number 3. So if you touch your screen, Mr. Goebel, it'll say breakout room and you can rejoin it. And Mr. Nunley will meet you there. Mr. Curry, what happened to Mr. Perkins? Mr. Curry, are you there?
Did you see the chat? It said,
oh, I see. It says I need to power off for 15 minutes. Yep.
Ugh.
Mr. Goble, can you figure it out? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll move you to a different breakout room. So there, now, do you see it now, Mr.? Mr. Goble, do you see the breakout room now? Yep, got it. Okay, Mr. Curry.
Yes,
Did you
Judge.
guys have an opportunity to review everything? I know we're waiting for Mr. Perkins to come back on.
We did, Judge. And I think what would be best is I'll explain the situation when Mr. Perkins gets back in the next 10-ish minutes here. I'll explain the situation as I see it, and Mr. Perkins can explain the situation as he sees it.
Got it.
Okay.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Okay.
Harrison?
All right, Mr. Nunley, as soon as we get your client back.
Yeah, he's in his car. He's going somewhere. I told him he had to stop. So he's pulling over right now to stop.
We have Miss Suggs in the waiting room. Is she one of your witnesses?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Nunley, are you gonna call witnesses? Miss Gillis, are
am.
you there?
I'm here, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Nunley, go ahead and
Yeah.
call your first witness. Witness.
We would call Kelly Goble.
Here.
Mr. Goble, can you raise your right hand? Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter as the true self of God.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Mr. Nunley.
All right, Mr. Goble, I want to take you back. Do you remember the date of November 29th, 2020?
That was a Sunday. Am I correct?
Yeah.
I was home all day.
Well, hold on, just answer the question. Do you remember that date?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
where were you living on that particular date?
1192 Tecumseh, Michigan, is where I was living.
Tecumseh, Michigan. Okay, how far away is Tecumseh from Van Buren Township?
30, 40 minutes. Something like that.
Okay, now, did you recognize the second witness that testified?
Yes, sir.
What was her name?
Holly McLean.
And how do you know her?
She's my ex-fiance.
Okay, when did you guys stop being together as a couple?
2 years ago.
Could you be a little more specific, maybe the month and the year?
November of 19.
November of 2019.
Yes.
Okay, did you stay in contact with her?
Yes.
Okay. Did you happen to see her on November 29th, 2020?
No, sir, I did not.
Were you in Van Buren Township on November 29th of 2020?
No, sir, I wasn't.
Where were you?
Tecumseh, Michigan at home.
At home. Do you live?
Yes, sir.
Do you still live at that same residence in Tecumseh, Michigan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on November 29th, 2020, who were you living with, if anybody?
Natalie Suggs, Bailey Suggs, Alex Waters.
Okay, so besides you, there were three other people who were living in the house.
Yeah.
Do you remember approximately when you began living in that house?
November of 19.
Okay, so you had been there for approximately 1 year on November 29th of 2020.
Yes, sir.
You listened to Mr. Riley Way testify earlier,
sir.
did you not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, he alleges that he saw you on November 29th, 2020. Is that the truth?
No, sir. Not unless he peeked in my window, because I was home all day.
Okay. So how long before you broke up with your ex-fiance? Well, strike that. Did you ever live with Mr. Way previous to
Yes,
your
sir.
breakup? Okay.
Yes, sir. I've known him since he was 3 years old.
Okay.
I moved in with him when he was 5.
How old was he when you and your ex-fiance broke up?
2 years ago, 13.
13. All right. Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever knowingly or intentionally did something that under the circumstances would have posed an unreasonable risk of harm or injury to Mr. Way?
No, sir.
Okay.
Not ever.
Okay, but your memory is clear that on November 29th, 2020, you were in Tecumseh, Michigan.
Yes, sir.
You didn't step foot in Van Buren Township.
No, sir.
All right. I don't have any further questions, Judge.
Miss Gillis?
Okay, Mr. Goble, you heard the testimony of Riley Way and his mother, and they indicated that you were at this house on Brandy and Van Buren. Do you know any reason why they'd lie?
No, ma'am, I don't.
So they're just making this.
Yes, they are.
Okay, you never
ma'am, they
got
are.
in a physical altercation with.
Not on
Donna.
November, I was not there.
Mr. Goble, I have a question for you. When's the first time you heard about these charges?
The first time I heard about them, when I was arrested in Hillsdale for them.
So the
I
police
never got
department
any-
never, the police department, Van Buren
They
Police
sent-
Department never reached out to you, never had a conversation with you?
Nope, they sent the paperwork to her house, not mine. Why would they do that? I got pulled over in Hillsdale. And that's how I found out. And I bonded myself
So
out of the
you
police
got
car.
pulled over in Hillsdale a year later. How is it?
Yeah.
I can't tell you where I was a month ago. How is it that you recalled a year later exactly where you were on that Sunday?
Because I was home all day, ma'am.
That's
Because
not my
Bailey was
question,
coming,
but I understand. Okay.
Bailey
go-
was
go
coming
ahead.
in back from her father's on that date, on the Sunday night. I was there all day. I was there all weekend.
Go ahead, Ms. Gillis.
And who did you say you were with?
Natalie Suggs, Bailey Suggs, Alex Waters.
And who is Natalie Suggs to you?
She's my girlfriend now. At the time, I was just staying there to help out with a friend of mine's son who had passed away.
And you remember that you were there every single, all day
Yes, ma'am.
long?
I was home all day long because I didn't have a vehicle at the time. I had no way.
I have no further questions.
Mr. Nunley, anything else from Mr. Goble?
No, nothing further, Judge.
Any other witnesses?
Yes, I believe Natalie Suggs, I believe, is the phone.
Yeah, you can't get Natalie Suggs to testify because every time she unmutes herself, it's got terrible feedback. I have to mute her every time she unmutes herself. So unless you get her on a phone.
Well, how about-
I'll take her mine. Let me
Hold
get
on,
back up here. I'll
Kelly.
take her my phone.
Now,
I'll
Mr.
put her on
Goble,
mine.
Mr. Goble, please
Yes, sir.
stop talking. How about if I suggest, I see Bailey Suggs is there too. If they are
That's fine.
together, maybe
That's fine.
Natalie
Yeah.
could jump on Bailey's device.
Yes. Ms. Suggs, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm unmuted.
And can you start your camera, please? Okay, can you raise your right hand?
Is that
Sound
Natalie
we-
or Bailey?
Bailey,
Now I'm looking for Natalie, please.
are you with is it your mother?
Yes, she's right in front of me.
Okay, then can you put the camera in front of her?
You hear me?
And I'm gonna remove you from the other thing because it does not work. Can you raise your right hand? Solemnly swear from testimony you'll give in this matter will be the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Nunley.
Hi, Ms. Suggs. I'd like to take you back to 2020. Well, first, let me ask you this. Do you know Mr. Goble?
Yes.
How do you know him?
I know him through my daughter's
Well,
boyfriend.
rephrase.
Father.
Are you guys in a dating relationship?
Yes, now,
Okay, when did your dating relationship begin?
just over a year ago.
Okay, are you currently living with Mr. Goble?
Yes,
How long have you lived with Mr. Goble?
Mr. Goble has lived with me since November of 2019.
Okay. All right, so let me take you back to November of 2020. Specifically, do you remember a date, November 29th, 2020?
Yes,
Okay. And you were living with Mr. Goebel at that time, correct?
yes, he was staying in the room.
Okay. Was there anybody else living in the house with you two at that time?
My daughter Bailey and her boyfriend Alex.
And her boyfriend, Alex. Okay. So were you with Mr. Goebel on November 29th, 2020?
Yes, he assisted me around the house.
Okay. Do you remember what you guys did that day?
I had cleaned the house in the morning so I could decorate the Christmas tree, and he helped me pull up the Christmas tree in the basement.
Okay. And that was on a Sunday, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So was there any point well, during the day of November 29th that you two weren't together?
No,
Well, specifically between 10 a.m. and noon, you remember, were you two together at that specific time in Tecumseh?
yes, we were.
Okay. All right. I don't have any further questions, Judge.
Miss Gillis?
You're muted, Jane.
You're muted.
Ms. Suggs, you're in a relationship with Mr. Goebel, correct?
Yeah.
And so it's safe to say that you care for him very much.
Yes,
Okay, and you wouldn't want to see anything happen to him, correct?
that is correct.
Pardon?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. I have no further questions. Oh, wait, I
Any
do have
other
a
wit-
question. I have one other question. He was living with you at that time, is that correct?
He was living with me, but we were not in a relationship at the
Okay. And you, and he was with you on the 29th. Was he with you on the 28th?
Yes, he was with me on the 28th as well.
What about the 30th?
The 30th, I was working from time at home,
You were what?
working from home at the time.
Was he with you
That
then
was a
too?
Monday.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Mr. Nunley, anything else of this witness?
Yeah, just briefly. Okay, you testified that you care for Mr. Goebel, correct?
Yes.
And you said that you wouldn't want to see anything bad happen to him, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so knowing that you wouldn't want to see anything bad happen to him, is everything that you testified to today the truth?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't care for him enough to perjure yourself in court on his behalf, do you?
No,
Okay, no further questions, Judge.
Any other witnesses, Mr. Nunley?
No, we don't have any other witnesses, Judge.
Argument, Miss Gillis?
Your Honor, I'd ask that you find Mr. Goebel guilty. I'm actually looking at the statute and I would ask you also to, they weren't living together. I'd ask you to look at the statute for child abuse fourth and or assault and battery. Find him guilty. I mean, we had two witnesses say.
Is assault and battery a lesser included though?
Yeah.
I don't think it is it?
No, because child abuse requires some sort of physical harm.
I understand that, and he wasn't charged, but the problem is, you don't have any evidence of physical harm, and assault and battery is not a lesser included. I can't find him guilty of something that's not a lesser included. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you can.
No, I can't. You can't create another charge and add it on.
I've done it in jury trials before and other bench trials down in circuit. You can
Mr.
add.
Nunley.
I mean, do you want me to make my argument now or?
Well, you didn't, so you want to add a count of assault and battery?
I just was, asking.
I'm asking you, Miss Gillis, you're asking to add a count.
Yes,
I
I'm
can't find
asking.
him guilty of something that's not an added count.
I'm asking that it be an added count, and I want to continue arguing that I would also allege that the, we're in trial. Anyways, I'd ask that you, to the fact that two people testified that he grabbed him around the throat. I certainly don't think that was, I certainly think that would hurt a lot and it scared him a lot. And
Ma'am,
also the witnesses
can I-
that Nunley put on are self-serving. I mean, it's 2 years ago and they remember exactly what they did on these days.
But Ms. Gillis, with your added count of assault and battery, you agree that there was no demonstration of harm. It really doesn't meet to the level of the child abuse 4 that was charged.
I guess it's a matter of the trier of fact to determine a physical harm, what level.
Mr. Nunley, argument.
Yeah, so I guess I've got twofold. I mean, I'll deal with the him not being there second, but even if you were to assume that he was there, the statute reads verbatim that the person knowingly or intentionally commits an act that under the circumstances possesses an unreasonable risk of harm or injury to the child, regardless of whether physical harm results. Now, there is no proof of injury. Mr. Way testified himself that it didn't hurt.
I can stop you right here because I'm telling you, I'm going to make a finding that it doesn't meet to the level of child abuse and I'm going to dismiss that. I did add her account of assault and battery, so make your argument pertaining to that.
Okay, well, I mean, there hasn't been proof beyond a reasonable doubt that there was an assault or there was a battery. They put on 2 witnesses. Mr. Way testified himself. He doesn't like Mr. Goebel. And then all of a sudden, there's these charges. Mr. Goebel never gets contacted by the police. They don't call him. They don't investigate. They're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, fine. Here, child abuse and domestic violence charges. Now, Mr. Goebel testified himself. He didn't have a vehicle. He's lived in Tecumseh for 3 years. He remembers where he was at that time. And they've had time to think about where they were. This charge has been pending for how long? I mean, they know what was alleged in the complaint. Now, Ms. Suggs also testified, and with sufficient specificity, I would add too. She remembers that she cleaned the house and then they were decorating for Christmas. All right. Now, has Ms. Gillis proved beyond a reasonable doubt that he has committed an assault and battery? For one, there's no harm. There's no harm mentioned in the police report. He said it didn't hurt. Does it rise to a level of an assault and battery? No, it doesn't. But even beyond that, I mean, we are nowhere close to the burden of beyond a reasonable doubt that anything happened between them. So we would ask that you find him not guilty of anything.
Well, the courts listened to the testimony and I did dismiss the domestic violence and the child abuse. I added the count for consideration that Ms. Gillis, I listened to the testimony of all of the witnesses. I think that Mr. Way's testimony is credible. I think that there was an incident. He was honest about. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. He was honest about the fact that it didn't really hurt that much. He didn't try to make stuff up when you asked him about it, Mr. Nunley. I just do not believe that Mr. Goebel wasn't there. I don't find it credible. I am going to find him guilty of the assault and battery. With that being said, the only thing I'm going to do is assess, there's a bond on the file. I'm a $500 bond. I'm going to assess fines and costs in that matter and back it out so that it meets the $450 after the 10% and close the file out.
Thank you.
I'm not going to put him on probation or anything. All right. And I can put you back in your breakout room, Mr. Nunley, if you want to talk to him.
Sure, you can put me back in there. I'll talk to him real quick.
But you want me to come in on the child abuse now?
Hang on. So I'm going to move him to 5 and I'll put you in 5 also. Okay. You're all set. And then Ms. Suggs, you're free to leave.
Is there anything else I can comment on the situation?
No. Mr. Curry,
Yes, Judge.
what do we think?
Do we have Mr. Perkins back?
We don't.
Oh. Well, Judge, I don't really, I mean, I have an argument prepared, so I feel like Mr. Perkins.
Oh, no. I'm not asking you. I'm saying, what do you think? What do we think happened to Mr. Perkins? He said he was going to be back in 15 minutes. And he's more than 15 minutes, but that's okay. what, Miss Gillis, you have the Riley matter. You're muted.
I can tell everybody to get in the courtroom right now. I'm gonna go get a bottle of water and I'll be right back.
Are you, but we have your witness, Mr. Gander. Is it, how many witnesses do you have?
I have 1, 2, 3 or 4.
Okay, who's the witness that's on here that's testifying?
That's a
remote?
grandfather that was at the house. He lives in Texas now. We both agreed that he could.
I think it was
testify.
Florida, but.
Some are
Okay.
sworn. So I haven't actually talked to him.
Do you want to talk to him?
Yeah, I'll talk to him briefly.
All right, Mr. Gander, can you hear me? I'm gonna send him to breakout room number 2, Miss Gillis. Go ahead and talk to him there.
Okay.
And then, Mr. Curry, I'll keep checking for Mr. Perkins.
Okay, I think I might be able to give his office a call too, Judge.
Yeah, he said 15 minutes, so I don't know.
Yeah, he told me he was speaking in front of the legislature today on something.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, so we'll wait for him. I got multiple things anyway. You need that on?
Yeah. No,
Think it's ever gonna go back to normal? You know, now, I don't think it's ever really gonna be normal, go back to normal, right? Every certain part, I don't understand, right? So like small hearings, and this is the perspective I have now since I sat in the stakeholder meetings, I didn't know how much it took to move a body, right? So you have to move bodies, that, you know, that's something that can open up. You never know. It's safer, it's quick, it's effective, and it's cheaper. That's the thing. But like we have to come in person, okay, I get that. But I'm gonna breathe all over everybody and have them breathe all over us. I was right before that, right? Before all of this, I was like, oh, I was germaphobe. Look, now, you know, I think it's more efficient if we can just do it the right way. So your tax, if your tax is 12, right, we're gonna start with you, and we're gonna be done with you at 12 plus, you know? And that way it's safer for everyone. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, it almost looked like a recording of something. Whoever it was driving. You know, see him bouncing around. That is a problem. Yeah. We just gotta get people, I mean, just socialize. For me, I've had better client control almost, and better outcomes, right? That's like, we're not here. Okay, hold on 1 second. You know, you call, get them on Zoom and get things done. Oh, yeah. If you have all the context. Look, I've been talking. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm serious.
Are they ready on, Riley? Riley or Blue? We are live streaming, just so that you guys know. I'm ready on Blue, but I don't think Madam Prosecutor, she's doing something else. I'm outside of my quarantine period, Jeff, so I'm gonna stay right back here with everybody, okay? Because I was in Ottawa County where I was exposed to the COVID, because they don't believe it. I think that there is an issue on whether she can fully proceed today, so I think we're gonna have a conversation about.
And I came out here, you know, they told me, no, you stay at home. You know, my oxygen is good, my temperature is good, right? But got me sitting here. Now, you can't disrespect my time. I don't disrespect anybody's time if I can help it. She was doing something else, she said.
Yeah, we'll get her in here. I don't know if you wanna do, go grab her on Blue.
Yeah. And you see my client, you know what I'm saying?
Miss Gillis on Baloo, I told council that, where's your client at?
Oh,
He's in lockup. On People versus Sergio Baloo. Do you have all the officers here? I know that you have you have a problem with the
Bank people is what I have a problem.
bank people.
And then I was gonna,
Do you have Officer Schreckenkaster or whoever the,
yes, and I have the witness, a guy who was at the bank. I have a lady who saw him get in the car and leave. Officer Churchill testified.
so, I don't wanna, I just wanted to know if you, if she's got I guess the witness, what's as an offer of proof, what's the witness that you're missing?
So last time we were here, I got dismissed. We didn't know that the lady lived in Florida. Called her, she's coming, all that kind of stuff. We tell her we got a plane flight.
What's the substance of her testimony?
She was robbed.
Oh, she is the person. She is the person. That's what I did not.
So when she just became sort of MIA the past few days, we get on, so I said, okay, let's go back to the bank and get all the people that were there, because there was people standing next to her when she did, and they have an accounting on her, all that kind of stuff, and because of COVID, because we didn't give them enough notice, we would have to shut the bank down, and they want their lawyers served too, so I couldn't get them.
So my question is, here's my, and you're good with there, Ms. Diallo. My question is, we can do one of two things, and I had her, have the officers come over, because I didn't want to be in this position that I make this comment to you and then it's not possible. We can start today, and then I can give her a continuance. If you're not happy with that, then we can do it all at once.
Well, Judge, we can, I guess since this is the second time, right? Just starting, we gotta start somewhere to end somewhere.
It's not the second time for me.
The
It's the
last-
first time for me. but-
Well, yeah, but the last time we were here, the one witness, they needed that one witness. They had 50 other witnesses. They need her for the identification.
I never, this is the first time I'm hearing this
She
case.
knows.
Okay, it might have been Judge Oakley. It wasn't me.
You?
It wasn't her.
It was not me.
It was Lisa.
Oh, Lisa Martin. Okay, so I, yeah, we can start. I mean, I like to go in order from the time the incident occurred all the way to the end.
But I'm not gonna, if she wants to start today, and that's what I'm saying, then I'm gonna, and then we'll adjourn it for the one witness.
Well, it might be one or two from the bank, but yeah, we'll have the other people come.
That's what we're gonna do then.
Back away, I'm holding. Okay, that's what Lisa.
We're live streaming. I hate to tell you this. Walk out in the hallway or
Yeah,
something,
okay,
people.
yeah.
And Ms. Gillis, what's the status of Lauren Riley?
We're ready. The defense attorney I wanted to talk to first, but we're ready.
actually gonna still on live stream.
Judge,
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know if you can hear me, but any word from Mr. Perkins, or should I give his office a call?
Just go back in the office, Alex. Hold on a second.
Okay, I'll give him a call.
What's that, Mr. Curry?
I just asked if